Hello everyone, this is Lala, and today I'm going to continue my social strategy series, which is the hold on, the sixth out of eight that I am doing, and the sixth one is the Loudmouth social strategy. This one isn't going to be anywhere near as long as the others. I obviously haven't done one of these in a few weeks just for a few reasons. One, I honestly just wasn't in the mood to really do one. Two, I'm kind of preoccupied with other types of content that I'm kind of trying to manage on both channels. Three, I also had a lot of real life changes within the last month or two that I really needed to handle. And now that those real life changes are now more settled in, now I'm getting ready to finish this. So we did the coaster, we did the collaborator, we did the floater, we did the gamer, and we did the leader strategies. Now I have to do the loudmouth, snake, and underlater, but I'm specifically focusing on the loudmouth today. But we have to define what that is. So the loudmouth social strategy involves the player threatening some or all of the other house guests. The loudmouth's goal is to appear to be unable to get the necessary jury votes to win $500,000 and or to make the other house guests afraid to vote to evict the loudmouth for fear of becoming a target of the loudmouth if he or she isn't evicted. The loudmouth usually takes a selective or passive competitive strategy. So this isn't just anyone who gets into arguments with people. That's definitely a misconception. These are pretty much people that uses their loud mouth, their more volatile behavior to get what they want, and they kind of intimidate as well. So according to this piece, house guests who have employed this strategy include Howie Gordon in Big Brother 6, Dick Donata on Big Brother 8 and 13, Russell K. Rue and Chima Simone on Big Brother 11, Rachel Riley on Big Brother 13, Amanda Zuckerman on Big Brother 15, Zach Grant on Big Brother 16, Michelle Meyer on Big Brother 18, Josh Martinez on Big Brother 19, Brett Robinson on Big Brother 20, and Ika Wong from Big Brother 2 and Big Brother Canada 5. I don't know if I agree with all of these people, since I feel like some of these people just had loud personalities and they weren't doing it so they could appear unthreatening, but we will get into it. So, with the tiers, you obviously have to write down people who fit in it. Outright loud mouths. So those are the main people who fit this category. And I guess I'll do another subcategory where I'll write partial loud mouths. Ooh. Where I don't know how many people will actually fit into the partial loudmouth category. Let's see. So obviously from Big Brother 1, there was no strategy. So we're just gonna move them all here. And because they weren't allowed to talk game, they couldn't use the loudmouth strategy for game. Big Brother 2, I shockingly had no one in this category for me, since I don't feel like people. Mm, yeah, I don't feel like anyone intentionally decided to be a loudmouth or to unintentionally intimidate people or try to make themselves seem like a non-threat in that way. I feel like the people who were argumentative on the season were just argumentative. They really weren't trying to use it as a strategy. So I don't think anyone from this cast fits it. As you go through the list, you're going to see that there's not many people who implement the strategy partially or even really fully. So there might be many casts that just fit here. Um, let's see. I also didn't have anyone in Big Brother 3 that fit that category, which also makes sense because this is one of the lesser confrontational casts, so it would make sense for no one to have that strategy, especially if they were a part of the non-confrontational cast, and they would have also been non-confrontational either. So we're just zooming through these people here. Now on to Big Brother 4. I actually kind of do have one person that fits into this, and that is Scott from Big Brother 4. I definitely do feel like he wanted to use his larger personality to get his way. He was very volatile. He was definitely trying to push his weight around the house. But obviously, his instability caused him to not really use it effectively, I guess. And he really didn't fit anywhere else. So I'll just put him there. Um, I don't, yeah, I don't know about partial or full. Well, partial or outright, but I'll just put him there for now. We'll see. And then we're moving on to Big Brother 5. And I have two people who fit this category. One of them, actually no, both of them should be pretty obvious. They are the two of the four horsemen. I definitely do feel like Scott and Jace went out of their way to use intimidation and their loud mouths to kind of scare and attempt to traumatize the house so they can get their way and to build a dynamic that ran on fear, but they just weren't good players, so it didn't really work in the way that they thought that it was going to work. So I'm gonna, yeah, put them as full loudmouths. I feel like that was their main strategy, and it fits. Big Brother 6. Yeah, they kind of talked about it in the article or in the wiki piece that I just mentioned, and Howie definitely fits this as well, as he went out of his way to intimidate the friendship, try to get in their head psychologically by verbally attacking them, in hopes that they would perform worse. So they definitely fit this. And I do feel like he carried this on to Big Brother All Stars, especially whenever he felt threatened or things weren't going his way. He tried to intimidate people with his personality, but it didn't work anywhere. It didn't work because there are much better players on the cast, and quite frankly, they're all returning players, so they kind of knew what they were getting into on all facets. So that's really it for the classic era of Big Brother. On to Big Brother 8. This next choice is very obvious, and I feel like he's the main example of the loudmouth, and that is Evil Dick. He had this persona, he knew he was being cast to be a loudmouth, and I do think that he, in general, just has that personality. He would threaten people when things didn't go his way, he wanted to shake and intimidate them, and to rattle them, which he claimed was his strategy, though I also think a part of it was just his personality. But he used it, especially during the week that he and Danielle were on the block. He also used it towards Kale and Jen several times earlier on in the season, and he even used scare tactics against Zach during the week he was on the block against Amber, where he essentially forced Zach to be loyal to him. After that, because Zach was campaigning for himself to stay, in order to do that, he said that he would have went after the Donatos. So yeah, that fits Evil Dick. Big Brother 9. I have one person here, and that's Jacob. And honestly, I feel like I put him there because I didn't have anywhere else to put him, so I kind of just put him in the partial. Everyone else on Big Brother 9, I just felt like they were very volatile personalities, and they didn't really use this for strategy at all. It's just them arguing with one another because they wanted to argue. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Big Brother 9. I don't know if any. Let's look at Big Brother 10. Oh, yes, I had Jesse for Big Brother 10 fits this. We definitely saw him try to intimidate the likes of a Libra when he wasn't getting power, and to threaten people when he didn't get his way. He even kind of did it to Jerry as well. He caused that huge fight on the birthday celebration, and he definitely liked to use his size to intimidate people, and he was very volatile. But I don't feel like this was his main strategy. So I'll think that it's partial for him, though he definitely went out of his way to intimidate people using his volatility and size. So I'll put him in partial. Big Brother 11. Obviously, The main person is Russell. And on my list, he was the only person that I put on this category because Russell went out of his way to intimidate and bully people to get what he wanted. He knew that being blocked out kind of shake people to get his way, and he was very intentional with that. I didn't have Chima on the list, but I do, after reading that piece, I do kind of recall her kind of using scare tactics to essentially force Casey to not target her team during that have not competition. So, and she did say that when it comes to the coup, that she'll go off if it was used, and she wanted to use that intimidation tactic. So I'll put her as a partial Ladma because I don't think that was her main strategy. We're going to move right along. Big Brother 12, there might be one or two people that fit into it. I don't know. Um, I haven't looked at my notes in a while to really tell. Yeah, I didn't really put anyone there. While Rachel and Brennan got into a lot of arguments, I don't feel like they went out of their way to threaten people and to appear as a non-jury threat by arguing with people and picking fights with them. I just felt like they got into fights because they were very emotional people who didn't really understand the game, and they were very emotional people. So I'm gonna put them all over here. Yeah, I can tell just like by the way that I'm going through this will be a quicker list. I don't have anyone from Big Brother 13 either, so we're just gonna move them along, which kind of makes sense. Mm. Honestly, that's a lie. I think I'm gonna put Jeff as a partial loudmouth because he is someone who definitely used intimidation to get his way, to get the newbies to back off of him, especially during that week where he was about to be backdoored whenever the likes of Shelly or someone else went out of line, or even when Kalia told him that she was going to nominate him as a pawn, he definitely tried to use intimidation to get her to not nominate him. Where is Jeff? So I feel like Jeff from Big Brother 13 especially fits the loudmouth category, but he just didn't get the edit of that season, though it definitely fit him. So yeah, Jeff, you're going right up there, specifically for Big Brother 13. Big Brother 14, I actually do have someone. No one from here. Uh, no, I don't feel like Welly was an intentional loudmouth. I just think he snapped because he got pissed off that his gameplay with Frank got called out. Frank was also someone that's just very, very emotional, but I don't think he was using that to get his way in the game. I'm putting Mike Buggy for Big Brother 14 there because I do feel like he intentionally threatened people so they could be scared off of nominating him, and so he could rattle them and all that jazz, more so than Frank. So I think he's a partial loudmouth for 14 because he wasn't going all out, all out, all out, but I do think that he used intimidation as his main strategy. Obviously, Big Brother 15, I have two people. One of them is Jeremy, where he definitely went out of his way to scare people. And he wanted to be the big dog on campus, where he could have people submit to him in that way by scaring them, intimidating them, and picking fights. And obviously, the other person is Amanda. Where is she? There's really no other way around it. I think she is the female or the woman who mainly stands out as a loudmouth when it comes to that strategy. She definitely threatened people so they wouldn't dominate her. She picked fights with people so they could do what she says, and so she could show the amount of power that she had, and she knew that she had the power of intimidation, so she definitely used that towards her advantage, and it carried her far into the season. But obviously, when it comes to loudmouths, they're also very loud when things don't go their way, and they kind of crumble, which is what she kind of did. So that's it for the post-classic era. Okay, on to the modern era of Big Brother 16. The one person that I did put here, and that was mentioned in the article piece, is Zach. Though when you really think about it, he's kind of tame compared to the other loudmouths because he was just so corny and contrived. But he definitely used his speeches during nomination ceremonies and vetoes to scare people and to get them to kind of hide under as well. He was very much willing to be used as kind of like the bullhorn to get people to do what he and his alliance wanted, but that all kind of just bit him in the butt where they just set him up, and he really gained no respect from it at all. So that's kind of why Zach is there. Oh, geez, gonna have to make this smaller. For Big Brother 17. I don't, wait, why did I put? Oh yes, I do remember why I put Jace there. I put him there because of his campaign to Steve. If anyone watched the feed, I'm pretty sure it's still online. He had this conversation with Steve where he essentially just threatened him, telling him how much people hated him, all that stuff, to try to get Steve to vote for him, and he intentionally used intimidation to get what he wanted. But I'm saw this person now, and they were on my list. I do think Vanessa was a partial Loudmouth, where she definitely used a lot of aggression and verbal attacks at times, and her very bold personality to kind of scare people into doing what she wanted to do, and she definitely weaponized her emotions in that way as well. Intentionally so, but she obviously had other elements to her game that were stronger and more notable. But I definitely do think that Vanessa definitely used intimidation tactics as well throughout her season. Okay, Big Brother 18. So I have two people. I might have more, but the two main people that I definitely have is Michelle and Paul. I definitely do remember Michelle using her speeches to attack people and to create certain narratives around the house or to spread narratives around the house as well. And I feel like Paul also kind of did the same thing. I remember him attacking Frank out of nowhere. Actually, it wasn't out of nowhere. It was out of nowhere to other people, but he would intentionally attack Frank so people can see what was going on, and so he could kind of just scare Frank and to kind of scare everyone where he will call him out so he could thrive in the game, and so he could create like a cult like narrative as well. I'm going to put Polly into the partial um Loudmouth. I do feel like he kind of used this with Tiffany during the week where they're on the block, and he definitely used it with Zakia, but I do think there are other elements towards his game. He mainly didn't use intimidation. He had other elements to his game, but there's definitely some moments there, especially when he really didn't get his way and when he was starting to get very power hungry. We saw elements of that coming up more and more and more. Big Brother 19, this one should be obvious. I already have Paul up there. Paul definitely created a cult like dynamic where whomever isn't working with Paul will be attacked and they'll be disrespected as they're on the way out of the house. We definitely saw this with people like Cody, Jessica, Elena, Mark, and even some of the others that were in his cult, but once they weathered down, they became the targets of this, like a Kevin, even a Jason at times. And the other person that definitely fits this is Josh, who knew that he was being used to be the loudmouth spokesperson for everyone in the group. He would do pots and pans like Evil Dick to scare and attack people. Whenever they wanted him to create a fight with someone, they used Josh, and Josh was a willing participant in all that. So he definitely fits that. So yeah, I'm gonna put Josh up there. Big Brother 20th. Big Brother 20. Who do I have here? I didn't have Brett there, though they mentioned Brett in the article piece. I don't even think he's a partial because he was never really intimidating people, and he wasn't really a loud mouth. But I do have Winston there for sure, because during the little time that he was there, we saw him go on rants, tantrums, and stuff so he can get what he wanted. And when he didn't get what he wanted, he would throw even bigger tantrums and then he tried to like scare Scott into like taking him off the block and stuff like that. And I remember him consistently acting like that on the feed. So I definitely feel like he acted that way the most. The other person I am going to add here is Bailey, and I'm adding Bailey because during her HOH week, we saw the way she talked to her allies. She threatened them. She used intimidation tactics towards them. She creates arguments with them so they can do whatever she wants, and so no one can really challenge her. So I definitely do feel like Bailey was intentional about that, and she used it specifically in Big Brother 20, not Big Brother 22, where she was a lot calmer on that season. So that's pretty much it for everyone from that season. This is taking so long. Big Brother 21. I feel like this one is pretty self Hmm. Let's see. Oh, wrong season. I was looking at 22 instead of 21. Yeah. Obviously, the Jack, so Jack and Jackson fits this completely. They went out of their way to intimidate everyone in the house. When Camp Comeback was a thing, they told people not to speak to the evicted house guests, and they didn't want anyone to speak to the people who are on the way out of the house about anything. Even within their alliance, they tried to like throw their weight around people well, to get what they wanted. This obviously caused Jackson to clash with Christine, and then later on in the season, we saw Jackson threaten people as well. We saw this with his arguments with Tommy, where he pretty much badgered him into making him look bad in the Final Five to keep Holly. That we definitely saw Jackson badger Holly throughout the season, which wasn't a good look. So yeah, there's no one for Big Brother 22, so that's really it for the post-classic era. I didn't have anyone for Big Brother 23, and I didn't have anyone for Big Brother 24 either. I feel like they intentionally casted people who are a lot less confrontational during these seasons. So it makes sense that there was really no one from 23 or 24 that would fit the Loudmouth strategy because they wanted a more PG friendly show. So I guess that really makes sense. I'm tired. Okay. Yeah, this is tiring. But we're almost there. Oh crap, I just realized that Bitcoin at 26 is all the way at the bottom. I don't know why that they didn't, but the way they did this tier ranking, they put 26 all the way at the bottom, below the Big Brother Canada people, which is very annoying. So I guess I should move those up. I have two more people. So yeah, there's really only two more seasons left, just 25 and 26. And obviously, with what was happening in the world at the time, they wanted things to be as peaceful as possible when it came to their cast. They really couldn't afford any sort of controversy. It's crazy how that feels like so long ago, especially with what's going on now. But it was really only like 4 to 5 years ago. But depending on where you live or whom you're around, 4 to 5 years ago could either be seem like yesterday or it could seem like 2 decades ago. Where is it? Okay, so Big Brother 25. I do have one person, and that is Jared. I really do feel like he intentionally used his mouth to get what he wanted. He created a lot of lies and destruction and drama. So he kind of created a hierarchy for himself. And I also feel like because his mother was in the house and he wanted to make a name for himself outside of her, it was why he overplayed so much, which is why he wanted to badger people down so he could get his way as well. And we saw that a lot with his fight with Corey at the end of the week where Itzy was about to be booted. We saw how Jared kind of tried to use that loudmouth tactic with Corey, but it didn't go the way he wanted to since Corey saw through his tactics and it kind of just caused him to shut down, i.e., Jared. Yeah, that's fine. And then we are going to move on to Big Brother 26, where there is one person who I do feel like fits that category. And that is Tucker. He's arguably one of the most ratchet people that I've ever seen on this show. Literally, all he did was scream, badger, and threaten people to get what he wanted, even though he didn't understand any sort of strategy within the game. He always thought that he was right. He wouldn't even listen to his allies about anything when it came to the game or suggesting other ideas. He definitely uses loudmouth antics against Tucker to get him to do what he wanted to do, but that failed. So he created and picked fights with people. And then people just kind of got over it. And yeah. How do I zoom this up? Clicking on everything. Okay. Alright, so these are the people that fit the loudmouth category. As you see, it's mainly men because women wouldn't get away with this strategy unless you're really like Amanda. And men are socialized to be more aggressive, so it kind of makes sense why this is the case. So, it's pretty short, under half an hour. We made it 3/4 throughout this video, or throughout the series, my bad. And we have 2 more categories where I don't think they're going to be long either. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with more content soon.